Hail, Flame here, and welcome to the FlameHisWorld commentary of Astro's Playroom for the PlayStation 5. This one's a new one to me. I just recently got my PlayStation 5 for myself. Thank you for the stock issues there, Sony, that's very much appreciated. But I've played a little bit of this game. I played the first level and had that issue that some people are having where, I don't know, it's like rest mode doesn't really work properly and it glitched out. So I started my PS5 fresh again, and take two, I thought I might as well record a playthrough of this. I might as well do something semi-blind for once. So let's jump into this and see what the PlayStation 5 itself can do. So this experience was created to show you some of the cool tricks possible with your DualSense wireless controller. Ready to join Astro for an adventure inside your PS5? Then let's dive in. Okay, now the controller itself, sort of like the design of it. I'm still leaning a bit more toward the DualShock 4's design. I feel like this one's a little bit clunkier. I know its big selling point right now is that it's got all the vibration gimmicks and the trigger gimmicks, which I know this game does show off a fair bit. So let's see how it works. Like, yeah, I can feel this tapping away. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this. What you're showing off here, the adaptive triggers, is you can just give it a slight little tap and it recognises that it's just a slight little tap. It's like an analog control, but then you can pull all the way down and it can tell the difference there. It's an analog trigger system, but it's got a bit of pushback, so it just doesn't go down as easily as, say, like a PS4 controller trigger does, and they change how firm it is depending on the game and the context in the game. Which is an okay gimmick, I suppose. It's like, I can see it being very gimmicky. I think they did a bit of that with Spider-Man, Miles Morales, which I've also played. Let's see what's showing off next. The touchpad. This was on the PS4 controller as well. This, one of the weaker controller gimmicks, I feel. It's there, like, yeah, I'm just drawing circles. I can just say hi. Yeah, it's nothing special. I think a couple of games on the PS4 use that. I imagine there's probably going to be a couple of games that use it here, but it's nothing that blows me away, really. Motion sensors. They're still trying to make this a thing. Just shake it all over the place. What it's doing here is it's showing off that there's a vibration effect here, that you can feel what's supposed to be those little guys as you can shake the controller around. And the microphone, if I hold it up close to my mouth here, you can see that it recognises that. This is something that the fucking DS had, so I'm not really blown away, but I guess it can be cool. It just also means that the CIA can listen in on you when you're playing your PS5. Here's the beast itself. I did manage to get one of the disc edition consoles, which that was pretty much the decider as to whether I would get one or not, because I don't care for digital consoles. I think they're a really bad precedent. I am very much attached to physical media. I like that you can get games pre-owned for cheaper. You can't really do that with digital games, but now if we flick the controller, here we go, he's out, he's free. So the gameplay in this game, it's a platformer. You have your jumps, you can pick things up as you would expect. You get the little float effect, which, the way it's animated, it sort of looks like the Mario Sunshine hover nozzle. We can use it to break things below us as well, which is also a hover nozzle thing. You get your punch, that's your main attack in this game. And you can also pull on things. So each of these areas popping up, they're the levels that represent a different part of PlayStation history. It's only a short game, there's the 4 main levels, but you know, it is a tech demo at the end of the day, and the levels here are actually quite meaty from what I've seen. The first one, I think it probably took me like 20 minutes or so to get through entirely when I did my failed attempt at playing this game. I think I've got that problem fixed now, apparently it's a known issue. But yeah, we also have this little hub world area here, which has some expanding platforming areas. It does actually control really well. I like that the performance is smooth as well. This seems to be something that a lot of developers are pushing for on PS5, finally. Because that was always my big hang-up with consoles, really. I didn't like that usually you would have a PC version that performs well, but if you play a game on console, it would just be like, you know, 30 FPS, but at a higher resolution than it needs to be. This system, thankfully, it seems like they're pushing for either running 60 FPS or higher by default. And the games that are going for that more cinematic thing, it's an option rather than just like eat your 30 FPS muck. And sometimes I probably will lose myself a little bit. I am playing through a really charming platformer, and like, I can't see Astro here being like a new Mario or something, but I do like his character design and the way that he has these abilities that just perfectly complement him. I'm happy with this. I am enjoying what I've seen so far. I know that this wasn't actually the first Astro game. He did have a PS4 VR game. The only problem with that is that it's a VR game, and I don't know, I quite aggressively do not care for VR. It just goes against everything that I'm interested in with games. Like, games to me are a sit down and chill kind of game, not a lose myself in this other world sort of thing. I didn't mean to land there, but I'll take it. Did I go everywhere? I think I went everywhere here. At least for now. Alright, let's go into an actual level and play some actual game. That's the cooling springs. I have my notes here, and I believe that is the PS4 level, or PS3 level either. So I'm looking for Memory Meadow, which is probably this. There we go. That's our first proper level. I'm going to go through these in order. It just makes sense to do it like that. You don't have to, which is pretty neat. But I like to do things in order. So what they're doing throughout these levels is a lot of these characters that you see, they're doing little nods to other PlayStation games, which is really neat. Some of them I will understand, some of them I probably won't. Like, growing up I was always more a Sega kid, and then also sort of grew a thing for Nintendo as well. I did actually have a PS2, but I didn't actually have that many games for it. But there's a fair bit of PS1 stuff that I've either gone back to or just am aware of through osmosis, so we'll see. That, I think what they're going for there is Flower, which was a game by the Journey developers before they did Journey. I think that was a PS3 game to start with. I actually didn't play that through and enjoy it properly until it got a PC port, because it was one of them games they were trying to push the DualShock 3s or the 6-axis kind of controls, and that's part of why I sighed at the whole motion control thing earlier. Like, I've never really cared for motion controls. I'll say that out of all the controller gimmicks you get, the ones that I don't care for are the little slidey pad things and motion controls. This, I think they're going for Ape Escape there. Never played it, but I've seen the general conceit of it. That looks kind of cool. Let's try and... what have I got to do? Yeah, this is the charged attack. So we get our little area there. I think what I'll try and do is when I see stuff like down here, I'll go and get it. Just because I don't really want to miss stuff. I probably will still miss some stuff because I'm not the most attentive. And we have medieval. I don't know whether... ow! I'm not having that. A little guy here, he's quite fragile. Sometimes you will notice that he will just take one hit and get knocked out, so you do have to be careful, but thankfully they are quite generous with checkpointing, so there's that at the very least. So I kind of would have preferred if he had a bit of a health bar, but you know, that's just on me to be a bit more careful. Did I go up here? I think I went up here. Oh no, I didn't go up there. So I did play this particular level, but after this, although I've seen footage and gameplay and whatnot, it will be my first time playing, so there may be a few parts where I do something really stupid and it takes me a while, or I get killed over and over. If that happens, I'll trim it down if it gets a bit excessive, but I'm trying to be a little bit more casual with this playthrough. These artifacts are different accessories from PlayStation's past. This is the first PS1 controller. Before it had the analog sticks, and if you're trying to play something like Crash or Spyro with this thing, it's a little bit awkward. I never really did get on with the earlier versions of those games before they started adding proper analog control, because I find controlling characters on a 3D plane with a D-pad to be really awkward. This is a reference to something that I'm not getting, although this one over here, that's Death Stranding. That's neat. Come on, you know you want to hit me. Oh well. These bounce pads here, they look like the Discord logo. I'm pretty sure everyone's made that comparison already, but that's all I see there. Come on, give me a new cloud. This part's a reference to Final Fantasy VII because they have clouds here. These are the jokes. This is all I have. Oh, what we got going on up here then? I feel like I recognise that from somewhere. Rip that guy. I feel like I recognise that from somewhere, but all that's coming back to me is the fucking Yoshi minigame from Mario 64 DS. PlayStation mouse. You can have a ball with this, nice. I can't think of any games that used this, but I imagine there were probably a good handful of things. Like, that's probably the sort of thing that any of the earlier shooters probably would have benefited from, if I were to take a guess. What's going on here? Oh, there's the PSVR, and he's playing the golf game. No, that's cool. I might be losing my bearings a little bit, I'm gonna be honest with you. Knock that guy out while I'm here. And there we go, first death. Oh, pretty sure there was a guy like him in Lost World 3DS, and I hate that I instinctively refer something back to that game. No. I was wise to your tricks that time. I appreciate this a lot. Just look at the physics on the grass there. that has got to be doing some work on the system itself. Don't want to be him. Although, when I keep getting hit by cans... Oh, that guy's got the smart idea. In your own time, buddy. Oh, we're getting some bits of rain on top of the grass effects. I like that. Rain's one of them things that if you manage to get it right, it can look absolutely beautiful. Looking at you, Mario 3D World. What's going on over there? Oh, that's the last Guardian. I think. It looks like it's going for the last Guardian. With Trico there. A lot of these guys that just sort of fall off. What's... Oh, yeah, I have seen this one. This is Jason's death. Jason got hit by a car, and that's the moment we all remember from Heavy Rain, which, in fairness, is the moment we all remember from Heavy Rain. This is literally the most insensitive thing I could be doing right now. I am well aware. I started doing that instinctively, then realised what I was doing. What's going on here then? Are they just... Oh, they got wet and they just wiping themselves down with a towel? I'm not sure if that's a reference to something or not. Sure, mate. Do your thing. Oh, I've got to put him out first. Can I make it up here? Yes, I can. I assure you I'm going to get myself electrocuted by these guys at least a handful of times after being told what to do with them. This is going very well. There is a reason why I'm going out my way to get so many of the coins here. It will become apparent when we make it back to the hub world. I'm now scared of these guys, so I'm being very careful. By the way, when you got the hail falling down like this, you do get the little tippy-tap vibrations that complement it well. I've never been big for vibration effects in games. It's something that I've always just sort of assumed it's either there but or it's not, and I wouldn't really miss it if it wasn't. I know the quality of vibrations has evolved a lot over the years. I remember playing Crazy Taxi on the Dreamcast with the vibration pack from that, and it was a much clunkier vibration than what we get with games these days, I can say that much. But this here, we zip it up, and this controls with the touchpad, which, as I mentioned, is one of the weaker control methods. You just sort of tippy-tap it, and if you want to stop on a dime, you just push the touchpad down. It's really fiddly. It's nowhere near as intuitive as any of the other stuff that I've been doing in the game, so if there was something that was going to get the axe, I would rather it be this. Let's see if I didn't get that, cool. It doesn't seem like I can jump while in this either, but what's going on here? Oh, he's playing baseball? Rounders, maybe? It'll be baseball. I feel like at least I can say we have control over this, and I feel like the fact you can just stop on it, like all of a sudden, is a necessity more than anything, because it is easy to get yourself off track. Again, it's not the most intuitive control method. I feel like this would work a lot better if you were using the control stick. But that kind of goes against the point of having a game to show off all the different tech stuff the controller can do, I guess. They're also adapting how the vibration works for the different terrain you're on, which it's neat. I know I was just sort of shit-talking vibrations a bit, but for the sake of a tech demo, it's neat. It's not the sort of thing that I would expect or ask for in later games going forward, but for it is, if you're showing off the game, or the system even, it's kind of cool to have. Got to be very careful here. I thought that those cones would stop me, but apparently they don't. So we've got the old memory card here, the PS1 memory card. Don't think I ever had any of these. I didn't have the PS1 console itself, like I said, so you know, this was maybe a bit earlier than me. Although, as far as I recall, the PS2 memory cards look basically the same, at least the official ones, so not really missing out much there. Okay, now this, I remember this, I've got to be careful here. So we've got the PS1 game discs, have that mysterious black ooze on the back. Not quite sure what that was. It was most likely some kind of copy protection. Yep, that's showing off the interface with the old CD player. I know the Dreamcast had one of those as well, which was neat. If I just accidentally hit the PlayStation button there, it's because it's right below the touchpad. Let's try and get the thing, yep. Oh, so I might miss some of them things, but oh, here we go, here's a thing. I'll just hold it closer to my mouth as I keep talking, and hopefully that will count as blowing enough. I don't want to just blow into the mic because that always feels kind of weird to do. But we have proper control back now. We have guys watching us who were probably hoping we would fall off more for their own amusement, but hey. What's going on over here then? I'm not sure what game that's meant to be. Unless it is just meant to be like just an aeroplane gimmick kind of thing they're showing off. Come on buddy, let me kill you. I want to see what's going on here. It really is the mark of good level design when I'm constantly wondering like, what's going on here? I want to go over here, I want to look there. It's the sort of thing that I'm quite hard to get that appeal with. I'm usually with platformers, I'm the kind of player who's like, let's just run to the end. If there's extra stuff I can worry about it later. But no, when I'm playing through this level, I'm constantly seeing things of like, oh, what are they showing off over here? What's going on there? Like up there right now, I'm not sure if that dances from anything or not, but nope. I got distracted and I fell off the cloud, so that's a sign of how invested I am in this. Okay, I did have to blow on it that time, but I'll edit that sound out for your own comfort. What's that? Is that Ghost of Tsushima? I think it might be. I've heard good things about that game, although I haven't played it myself, and yeah. I should just stop talking and concentrate maybe. If you're wondering why I don't normally do many games live, that was just a good example of why. But now I know these platforms are timed, I hopefully won't make the same stupid mistake again. So, was this one of the things that you would have if you're trying to play it in the car or something? I know there was a big market for things like that for a while. Like, you would get DVD players to play in the car, or like just general travel gimmicks and that. Oh, I've got to blow into it again. Here we go. I'll keep on talking this time, and hopefully I won't sound too stupid. I really hope this doesn't sound too bad on the mic, by the way, when I do that, because I'm having to hold the controller quite close to my face. Where are we off to? Oh, it's one of these. I haven't really talked about the music much, but this sounds so fucking cool, and as far as I recall from watching playthroughs, this is quite consistent in terms of good music. I'm scared. I've never been good at timing things like this, so I'm very scared. What's going on there? Is that meant to be like one of the grind rail sections from Ratchet or something? Maybe, although he's got the things going on with his arms, so I'm not entirely sure about that. Can't get there yet. My entire concentration during this section is focused on not falling off the edge like an idiot or getting myself zapped. And that is asking a lot of someone like me. That I just barely got away with that. I'm not even going to risk it for the rest of them coins there. Although there is something over there that I'm going to risk it for. Maybe risking it for that wasn't worth it, although I am going to try that again, so I'm a man of not learning my lesson. So I was getting so worried about it being the electric platforms that would kill me that I wasn't paying attention to the just stand mook enemies. Ah, the multi-tab. What this was is, unlike other consoles around the time, the PlayStation by default only had 2 controller ports. So if you wanted to play with 3 or 4 people, you had to get an extra little accessory for that, which seems a little bit bullshit. It's especially given that's just something that other consoles didn't have to worry about, and also because they kept that up with the PS2 as well. The PS2 also only had 2 controller slots. At least the original model did. I'm not entirely sure about the slim ones they released, although I think that did too. Now, I know a platforming gimmick when I see one, and I know there's going to be something on top of that TV. There we go. Gotta be quick. There we go. Okay, this guy seems friendly at least. Oh yes, Bumper Broadway. My favourite. Here we go, I guess. Let's see if I can do this without accidentally hitting the PlayStation button again. So that was a little bit awkward last time. It completely threw off my train of thought. I don't know if there's any benefit to actually hitting all the Skittles, but I might as well try it while I'm here. If I can line myself up, but let's try and just stay here in there. Oh, I actually have to have some momentum, I can't just cheat it. If there is a pussy way to do something, I will at least attempt it though. You gotta give me some credit there. Okay, cool, there's a thing under there. I wonder if that means there's more things in the other one here. This should be easier to hit in theory. Okay, maybe not. But this looks appealing. I didn't even do anything there, I must have just come at the wrong angle. Okay, let's try and be a bit more careful. Okay, no, this is gonna go very well. We've got slippery control as it is, because it's using the touchpad with ice. My favourite, and I want to try and get these collectibles, so I might be here a little while. Again, if it gets a bit too much, I'll try and trim it down, but let's see how it goes. I remember this being kind of a pain in the arse on my practice run. Unintentional practice run even, but yep, it's going as well as I expected. And because it's on ice, even when I push the button to just stop me in my tracks, there's still a little bit of momentum that it's carrying. So I'm so nervous with this right now. No, even when I just take my thumb off just to change hand, just to try and get a bit more control. No! Gotta be careful. Okay, bit more. I want to get that thing at the top. This one ramp is the final boss. Hope you're ready for that. Okay, and now we get the DualShock. So this is when we started to get analog controls. I can play around with it there, which is neat. Never had one of these again because I didn't have a PS1, but I remember the DualShock 2 basically using the same design but in black, and there are a handful of other colours are available as well. But now I can get back on the main path and hopefully not die as much, although I have seen something that's appealing to me over here. Take it one tile at a time. Because if I touch one of those two things, I'm dead. I know how this works. So here we have a not VMU. This is the Pocket Station. And it opens up. I don't know of any games that use this. Apparently it's big in Japan going by the subtitles. So maybe it was Japan only, I'm not entirely sure. Again, like the PS1 era is where I have the biggest void in PlayStation knowledge. I should be able to pick up a little bit when we get to, like, maybe more so 3 in particular. I missed a Skittle. I don't want to miss a Skittle. I have very important priorities in life, as you can tell. I know you don't want to go back on the ice, but we gotta do it. So, what little cameos have we got around here? Or just general, these guys being kind of cute. Hugging up to a CRT, I think this guy might be a Smash player. Okay, buddy. Now, apparently these two here were early PlayStation mascots. They seem to like their pocket station, so let's see if I can get them both with one hit. I can. Anything going on? Nope, there's just death behind it. I do have a little bit of nostalgia for the CRT era, I will say. I remember one of mine just sort of blowing up. It's never really that comforting when you got a piece of equipment and it just starts smoking, but hey, got a bunch of bots playing games together. I don't know why they're getting so hyperactive over the title screen, but I'll let them have their fun. Let's get up to the top and wrap this level up. Here we go. So there's our artifact, the original PlayStation. Now this was just the main model of it. There was another one that came out later called the PS1, which is basically just a smaller version. It's not quite as bulky, it's a lot more rounded. I prefer this design. It looks a bit more substantial. I've never been too big on the whole make everything smaller kind of mentality. I like to have a big bulky bit of equipment. Maybe not as bulky as the PS5 is, because holy shit, this thing is massive. But, you know, at least it has its presence. So, in this room here, this is where all our collectibles go in the PlayStation Labo. All the items that we've been picking up, as well as a few other new cameos that you find. Like there's our controllers, got memory cards, I don't know what... Oh, this guy's just sorting through all the games looking for the one he wants to play. That's cool. Dude, can you stop, like, being so creepy, touchy-feely with gaming equipment, please? I didn't realise you could do that. I wonder if I'll ever see him again. Oh, there. Cool. This is how you get scratches on your game. Don't try this at home. I think these are the things the Death Stranding guy was carrying in the level. What is that pose? I'm not quite sure what they're working on, because that's not a PS1 disc. I'm just going to ignore it at this point. If we make our way over here, I believe, we get this friendly chap waving to us. Let's get a few more coins before we go in. So this is the gacha machine. This is what we collect coins for. We can pull that. It gives a little bit of weight on the adaptive triggers as you crush the thing to break it. These little panels here are just for the murals on the wall, but occasionally you get artifacts out of it. Like this here, I'm not sure what this is. Come on, give me something cool. Starting to see how people manage to piss away all their money on these things, but thankfully it's just digital currency. Okay, what we got? PSP microphone. I didn't even see that on the screen for a minute there because it blends in with the background. The PSP was an interesting device in that it had some games that a lot of people like, but it also wasn't the DS, so no one bought the fucking thing. I suppose the fact that it didn't have the microphone built in was a point against it, although there were plenty of other points against it, like that after a while they sort of gave up on it. Not quite as quickly as they gave up on the Vita, but still. I don't have much money left, so you know, we might not have as many of these on the next one. Just got a can, okay. I think, yeah, I can't afford any more. Oh well. Starting to fill out the other walls already from that. I don't think you can get all of the pieces in the levels. I think you do have to use the gacha a bit, but I may be wrong on that. But I think I've done enough playing around in here, so let's go and see some other levels. I'm not sure what that R button's for, but okay. New speedrun challenges are available from CPU Plaza. Have a ball perfecting your time. I'm not going to do that, if you don't mind. I don't want to spend any more time with that rolly ball than I have to. What's our next level? Maybe this one, SSD Speedway. That is indeed the PS2 level. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me next time where we will be going into SSD Speedway. See you then.